Alright, so welcome back to the channel, guys. It is me, 80 Summer 44. So today, guys, I'm going to do my weekend preview. It's been a while since we did the weekend preview for obvious reasons. The club football was on hiatus because of the World Cup, guys. World Cup obviously, messed everything up with the schedule. So now we're back with club football. And now there will be times in the description below for your convenience. Now, I just want you guys to know before we get started that there is no Serie A this weekend. There is no Bundesliga this weekend. And so just so you guys know. So I'm going to be only choosing from League 1, La Liga, and the EPL. So I sorted this from earliest kickoff to latest kickoff, by the way, guys. So let's go ahead and start with the first game we have here, which is Villarreal versus Valencia. This, for me, is a massive game. I think this is a very crucial game in the sense that it could determine which team is going to get that European spot. Because right now, guys, Villarreal currently ninth right now, They haven't had the best starts this season. They were doing really well until obviously Kike Setien came in for Unai Emery, and since then it's not really been a great under Setien in particular. As for Valencia, they've also been having a decent start to the season. Obviously they've had 5 wins, 4 draws, and 5 losses, so it's relatively even, and it's a really interesting game in this sense. The win probability is actually 49% for Villarreal, 27% for a draw, and 24% for a Valencia win. Let's go ahead and look at the insights coming into this game. So Villarreal lost 2 of the last 3 games against Valencia in La Liga, as many defeats as their previous 8 matches against them in the competition. At home, Villarreal unbeaten the last 5 games against Valencia in La Liga, winning each of the last 3. They have never won 4 home matches in a row against a Valencian team in the top flight. Villarreal have avoided defeat in the last 13 home games against sides from Comunidad, Valencia, and La Liga, win 10, draw 3, winning the last 5, while Valencia have lost 5 of their last 7 away from home against such teams. After having won 3 of the first 4 games La Liga, 2022/23 draw 1, Villarreal have only won 3 of the last 10 in the last competition, draw 2, lost 5, including a loss in the last home game 2-0 to Mallorca in November. Valencia have won the last game in La Liga after failing to win in their previous 5 in the competition. They are looking to win consecutive games in the top flight for the first time this term. So, as I said, guys, it's a very difficult game to call. Obviously, it'll be interesting to see how Villarreal do, obviously, with Kike Setien, and obviously Valencia with Gattuso as their coach, I believe. I think Valencia's coach is Gattuso. Let me go ahead and just fact-check that real quick. Yeah, it should be. I think it's Gattuso, right? Yeah, Gattuso is currently coaching this club. So, for me, guys, I just think that Villarreal, they have a really good squad, but I just think that the problem with Villarreal is the fact that I just don't trust Setien. I just don't think Setien is really the guy for the job. I just don't think he can get the best out of Villarreal. And yeah, guys, believe it or not, I'm actually going with Valencia to win this game. I think Valencia have been in really good form recently. I just think that Valencia, for me, they're just playing so well at the moment. And I just think that Villarreal, they're really going to struggle, and especially with their new coach Setien, they haven't really looked that great since then. So, yeah, I'm actually going with Villarreal to lose. I'm going to go with the 1-0 win, though. It's going to be a very close game, very tight game, but I just give Valencia the slight edge to get that 1-0 win and to win it. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the 1-0 win on this occasion. Let's move on to the next game we have here is Brighton versus Arsenal. Oh, it's a big game. It's a big game for Arsenal, man. Big game for Arsenal, and even for Brighton as well. So let me go ahead and write this down. Okay. So let's go ahead and discuss. For me, the thing about this game that makes it interesting is the fact that Brighton got Arsenal's head-to-head record. I mean, look at the timeline here. So actually, let me look at the stats here. So the win probability for Brighton is 28%, Arsenal is 49%, draw is 27%. Let's look at the timeline. So Brighton have just lost one of the last 5 Premier League home games against Arsenal, win 2, draw 2, since a 1-0 loss in December 2020. Brighton, one of the 3 teams that Arsenal have lost more Premier League games than they've won, along with Manchester United and Liverpool. Brighton beat Arsenal 3-1 in the League Cup in November this season. Only once they have beaten the Gunners twice in the same campaign, winning both Premier League meetings in 2019-2020. Indeed, victory here would also be the first time they won 3 in a row against Arsenal in all competitions. Brighton have lost their final league game in just one of the last 6 calendar years. Though that defeat did come at home to Arsenal in the final game in 2020. Arsenal just won 2 of the last 7 league games played on New Year's Eve, beating Aston Villa 3-0 and QPR 1-0 in 2011. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this game pans out, because obviously Brighton, they seem to have Arsenal's head-to-head record, you know, like, and I think Brighton this season you have to give a huge credit to what they've done because they've been doing excellent this season. De Zerbi has done a great job with this team. I'm looking at players like Trossard, who's really risen his stock. I think Trossard's really been fantastic as a player. Then obviously you have the likes of Cucurella. Well, actually Cucurella not anymore. Esteban, um, and who else? Like I said, other players that come to mind is obviously the then obviously Danny Welbeck has also been good. Now for Brighton, they do have one big concern though. Moises Caicedo is suspended for this game, so that could be a big blow for Brighton in that sense. And they did come off a win against Southampton, so a 3-1 win at their stadium. Lallana has also been really good too as well. Then Gross as well, Pascal Gross, Robert Sanchez, and yeah, I think this is a tricky game for Arsenal. Like I know Arsenal have been really good this season. Obviously they're top of the league for a reason, and they've only lost one game this season to Manchester United. I just think the Arsenal have been really good this season. You know, with Odegaard has been really firing all cylinders. And then obviously Jesus is out for the pretty much the rest of the season. It's fair to say. Then Saka's been really good. Jacques has been a revelation. Even the right back Ben White has been great. Ramsdale has also been excellent as well. And I just think that this is going to be a really tricky game to call. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw on this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I just think the Arsenal will not be able to win this because of how difficult they are. Brighton tend to do against Arsenal. And so I'm going to give I'm going to give this a draw. And I think that will be a good result for Arsenal. Because, like I said, Arsenal, they're 40 points, 41 points. Yeah, let's see, man. Let's see if Arsenal can maintain their title charge. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the next game we have here is Tottenham versus Aston Villa. Now, I know a lot of people are thinking to themselves, why did I include this game? Because, it's Aston Villa for crying out loud. But the reason why I included this game is because Aston Villa have a new manager. They have Unai Emery in charge. And Unai Emery is a very good coach. He's a much better coach than Steven Gerrard. Anyways, let's look at the win probability. So the win probability for Tottenham is 58%, draw is 23%, and Aston Villa is 19%. Let's look at the timeline here inside. So Tottenham have won 12 of the last 14 Premier League games against Aston Villa, as many as they had in their first 40 against them in the competition. Aston Villa have just won 2 of the last 21 Premier League games against Tottenham, though both victories in that time have come away from home. Aston Villa have lost each of the last 5 Premier League games in London, conceding at least twice each time. Meanwhile, they have now kept a clean sheet in the last 13 league visits to the capital since beating Arsenal 3-0 in November 2020. Tottenham have won 7 of the last 8 Premier League games on New Year's Day, with the exception of being a 1-0 loss at Southampton in 2020. Tottenham have conceded the first goal, also conceded at least twice in each of the last 6 Premier League games. They last had a longer streak of conceding first in November 2010, while they had last conceded 2 goals and plus more consecutive league games in November 1988. 8 games. So I think for this one, guys, it's going to be interesting to see how Tottenham do this one, because obviously Tottenham are coming off of the back of a draw against Brentford in a game in which they were completely dominated with the first half, but they were able to come from behind in the second half and clinch to a point. And that's the thing with Tottenham, is that this is the type of game that they should win, but knowing Tottenham, they're going to find ways to screw things up. And especially with the Aston Villa team, that is very much rejuvenant. And look at their win against Manchester United, and look at the game they played against Liverpool. I know they lost the game 3-1, but they played really well in the second half. And Tottenham, Liverpool just about survived. I think Aston Villa can cause a lot of issues to Tottenham. I think they can do the same issues there. But the difference is that this time they're on the road, and Tottenham's at home. Generally speaking, Tottenham is better at home than they are away. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this one pans out. And yeah, my concern with Aston Villa, though, is that defensive, I think they're very shaky. Now, I think the same is true for Tottenham as well. So, it's a tricky one to call. Tottenham just came back from a draw. I'm going to say Tottenham wins this, but it's going to be very close. I'm going to say they win this. Something tells me it's going to be a high-scoring game. Something tells me this is going to be a high-scoring game. So I'm going to go with Tottenham 3, Aston Villa 2. I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game, and I give Tottenham a slight edge just because they're at home. But I wouldn't be surprised to see if Tottenham draws or even loses this game. I wouldn't be surprised. The final game we have here is Lens versus PSG. So let me write this down here. Okay, So let's go look at this. Let's go to win probabilities. The win probability for Lens is 29%, draw is 27%, PSG win rate is 44%. Let's look at the lineups coming into this game. Oh, there's no timeline thing here. I guess they're not gonna put it there. Um, but anyways, we're just gonna move on from that. Lens have been excellent this season. They've been fantastic this season. They're nearly unbeaten. They only lost one game this season. They're on 37 points this season, which is incredible. They're even ahead of the likes of Marseille and Rennes, that are traditionally teams that are probably better than them on paper. And the fact that they've been able to compete like this is incredible. And I just think that I've been really, really impressed with what Lens have been doing. PSG, on the other hand, I have not been that impressed with them. Of course, we expect, PSG to run riot in League One. That's what they're expected to do. But there's a lot of concern with PSG because they haven't really played well. I mean, PSG struggled to beat Strasbourg, a team that's in the relegation zone at home, and required a last-minute winner from Mbappe, which was a penalty, by the way. So it was not even as if PSG played that great. Now, granted, PSG is a type of team that can always screw up, but Lens can do it. It's gonna be a difficult game, and also to make matters worse for PSG, Nemo will not be available for this game because he got a red card in the last game, and I don't think Messi will be available for this game. I don't think Messi is gonna even play. So really, you're gonna only have Mbappe, Vitinha, and these kind of players, and I just think PSG is gonna really struggle. I'm actually gonna go with a draw. I actually think Lens will get a point here because it's at their stadium, and I think Lens is going to get a 1-1 draw, and I think PSG will still keep their unbeaten streak. I was actually really tempted to go with Lens to win, but I think Lens is going to mess up a bit. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw for this one, though, and it should be interesting, guys. It should be interesting. So that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys did enjoy this weekend preview. Remember, guys, to leave your predictions in the comment section below. Remember, guys, if you're new out here, consider hitting the like button, hit that subscribe button while you're down there as well. And obviously check out the me and the other platforms in the description below. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.